Well, good afternoon. It is May 20th still. Same date I started the first part of this video tour. This is the May video tour, and hey, looky there. Thought those were blackberries. I'm presuming they still are. Everybody says they're blackberries, but they're red. They're beautiful. So I'm gonna have to watch these. They're prolific. Look at that. That is awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna start with a video tour, looking at the brief look at the blackberries there, and of course these pomegranates that are surrounding this end of the Blackberry Arbor. But it's been a beautiful day, and I'm gonna take a look at some of the stuff that's growing more in the garden here. So stick around. Be sure to like and subscribe this video. We're trying to get up to 100 subscribers, sorry, to this channel, so we can get our custom URL. And it's a good day when I can get that. So watch along, and hopefully if you learned something, great. If you have any questions, please ask. If you have any requests, please ask down in the description. So I will start with, well, we'll look at the back of the blueberries, and we've got a peppermint back in here, but the first thing that's really growing is gonna surprise you. So these blueberries, of course you saw that in the end of the previous video, they are growing everywhere. I am very, very excited to start harvesting these. In fact, I might come out and try to harvest some of these. Ooh, I see a nice plump one right here. Okay, that was good. All right, I know I can't eat them all. There's some nasturtium hiding back here behind this mint plant. This is a peppermint plant. Look at this thing just shooting out. I'm tempted to cut it back so it can bush out better. It'll do that. You just kind of whack it off as low as you want to, and mint is prolific. So mint is growing, blueberries are growing. And if you've seen the latest picture of the Bee Hive, look at what else is growing. We have 5 boxes. Jeff just came out and added another box. He actually added that box in. He lifted that one up and put it in the middle there. Excuse me. But that's kind of exciting. We have a lot of bees down there. It is thick with bees. He says there are babies being born inside the bottom 3 boxes of this. We opened it up and took a look down in there. It was very impressive. Of course, a sunflower growing right there next to it. There's another sunflower growing over there. You can see right there. There's a few sunflowers amongst the nasturtium. Yes, I've said nasturtium a lot. How many times can I say nasturtium in a single video? We'll have to see. There is you'll see a video about the air potato. There's a little air potato right up against the fence there. I'm gonna have to take out. I just noticed. Those are the scourge of my garden. Keep an eye out for that video. I don't do a lot of weeding, but I do get in here and try to pull things out by the roots. Because of the heavy mulch that I used, they generally come up pretty easy and by the roots, so it won't be a problem. So I'm going to walk right past the bees here. They're a very good hive, very polite, Jeff said. This tree here has been taken down and it's starting to grow out again. I'm gonna have to do some pruning on this, keep it from doing that. Anyway, I may have some more sunflowers growing up behind there. I think that one right there is a sunflower. You can almost see it. I'm not sure. I planted some sunflower seeds back there. These here, not sure what these are. They look kind of like a little elephanty, or maybe they'll get bigger. I'm not sure. Of course, back around here to the melon patch. This is a dead garlic bag. Already talked about that in the last one. It's a very disappointing year for the garlic. This fig tree back there, we looked at the fig tree in the front. Look, even this fig tree has a few figs on it. Not very many, but it's trying. I see one down inside there, and there might be a dozen in here, hiding in here. Maybe not. So if you saw the post on Facebook, the zucchini that I harvested, that's almost the size of my forearm, it came from this plant right here. And you can see there's another one just about to come up right there. These are some male flowers here. You notice it's just got a stem on the bottom. And then looking for a female flower, you can see this plant. You see it looks like a little zucchini right there. That's the female flower. When that opens up, those bees over there will go crawling in the flowers and pollinate it. This one, I'm not sure, it probably has already been pollinated, but we'll find out. I'm not familiar enough with the zucchini yet. So we got this massive plant. We've got another massive plant over here. We've got a smaller one that was planted later there, and another small one that was also planted about the same time as that one over there. So I do need to do some weeding in here, obviously. We'll get some of these weeds out of here amongst the nasturtium. Also need to fill the bird bath. What I need to do is run a tube up from one of the drip lines into here so that bird bath will automatically get filled. So this is jalapeno peppers, and this thing is growing. Jalapeno Traveler. These are a small jalapeno, and we're gonna start picking these here pretty soon. They're looking really good. In fact, let's test one of these bigger ones here. Here's there's really not any ones big enough to test. Oh, here's a good one. Look at that. That's a good one. Fresh off the plant. Here we go. This one's for you, Val. There's a flower on the end. See, now, I gotta tell you, I tried the peppers off this plant. This thing didn't stop producing peppers all winter here in Florida. It was producing flowers and jalapenos right through the winter, which is very cool. But come around March, a couple months ago, I'm gonna try one of these. So I picked it off there and I ate it, and there was no heat. None, not a smidgen of heat. And primarily because it needs both the heat and the sun, and a lot of sun, to create the capsaicin that makes for the heat. So this thing's had a bit more sun now. Let's see what, let's see. Seeds and all. It's definitely developing some heat. Not quite ready, but yeah, definitely developing some heat. I'm not sure that would even rate 1,000 Scoville, but it's good flavor. Good stuff. So next to this jalapeno, we have some cantaloupe, and looky here, we have is it about to rain? I think it is. We have some male flowers. It has just a plain stem on the back. I don't see any female flowers yet. No female. Oh, what is that? So it always starts off growing male flowers, and it gets lots of male flowers before it starts growing female flowers. It might, see, it's growing. This thing is what, 2 feet long, and maybe close to it, but out at the end there, it'll start growing female flowers, I think. Never grown cantaloupe before, but this is the oh, here it is. This is another one here. Let's See if we can find some female flowers on this. I don't see any yet. This is the honey rock cantaloupe on these two mounds. These are the ones that I planted from starts. Whew. There's some big old hunks of grass up in there. But these over here to my left are actually the ones I started from seed. And I'll get the grass out of there too. There's a little bit of lavender here. This magnolia above us sure is dropping a lot of leaves on us. So watch the Scourge video, find out what was in that hole. It was very cool. So here is another cantaloupe, and again I see male flowers. No, nothing but stem behind there. We'll have to keep an eye out for female flowers. I try to keep these separated, going in different ways so they don't get too tangled up in each other. Look at that, it's grabbed onto the staple. Good job. Grab onto the world, buddy. That is not a cantaloupe. You can go away. Big old deep root. So this is the Hale's best jumbo cantaloupe. So we'll have to see if that happens. I do not see any female flowers on that either. So we'll just have to see. And the nasturtium in here are doing pretty good. Kind of pleased. Look at these beautiful bicolored nasturtiums. They're pretty leaves. There's a couple of these together. Now when I planted these, I actually just mixed up several packages of seed, about 400 of them, and just planted 400 seeds all through the property. But I did that to get rid of the snails, and let me tell you something, it worked. Okay, so this is the Kiwano, also known as jelly melon or horned melon. It's a cucumber, a jelly cucumber. And it does not have any flowers yet. It is a climber though. I tell you what, I was gone for 10 days or so, and this thing was trying to reach for the trellis, but look, this thing has grown all the way up to there. It's actually grabbed on right there in the time I was gone, in 10 days. So, and there's another one getting ready to grab on. This one over here is grabbed on. This one down here is going to reach out and head over this way. I put it in a big 16-foot trellis so they'd have plenty of room to grow, because I was warned this is a prolific grower. More prolific than my Scourge. Again, watch for the video. So, very excited about getting rid of some of the Scourge that I face. So, yeah, we got a few raindrops. This magnolia above me is protecting me. The sky is looking a little ominous. There you go. Got a little something blowing over here. Again, that little hole. Things are getting there. I do like the look of this though. This is a bigger nasturtium. I've never grown big nasturtium before. But this thing here, look at that flower. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the back side of this flower. It is just gorgeous. Whew, I think I just saw lightning. It is just the neatest colors. Now this thing here, this little spike, you bite the tip off of that and suck. You get the sweet nectar out of it. Really good. Now I don't know if this orange one is peppery. This is a pretty big flower. But these are all edible, as I said in the first video. Nasturtium is an amazing plant. The reason why I planted so many of them is because I wanted to get rid of slugs. And let me tell you something, I got rid of slugs. I haven't had much of a problem with slugs since I planted since 400 of these started coming up. So, okay, so let's see how peppery. They have a kind of a peppery taste to them. So that's the only warning thing. They go great in a salad and they have other stuff. They have a really good flavor. Very mild peppery flavor. That's really good. Kind of tastes like pea shoots if you've ever had those, but very good. Adds a lot of color to a salad. It's a wonderful, wonderful plant. And for those of you out in California who say it's a scourge, eat them. Just eat them. They're great. Great for salads. So that blue dot right there is me. And it looks like we got a little bit of stuff coming our way. We'll just see how far we can go before we start getting wet. But walking back through the blackberry trellis, you see over there, that's some pretty dark clouds you can see. Quite ominous, but that's already past us. So I like to be out here anyway, so we'll give it a shot. My Fatalii pepper, I fed it. I don't know if you remember last month, this thing was starting to have a lot of yellow leaves on it. There's a lot of new growth on it that looks strong. So I think this is gonna come back. A lot of good deep green growth. You can see the old yellow leaves, but I'm gonna just let it go, let it keep going. I just used the tomato tone from Espoma. It's a good general feed, I find. I use it a lot. So I don't have a whole bunch of bags sitting around. This is more mint down here. I think this is peppermint here. Yes, this is peppermint. Boy, look how beautiful the leaves are on this nasturtium. Multicolored leaves, a tricolor leaf. That is just something else. Lavender's looking okay. Looks like it's beginning to take. Might have to do a little more research on this. Me and lavender have been having a very difficult relationship, so we're gonna have to figure out how to propagate this. Coming over here, we're getting into our watermelon patch. Of course, our first lemon tree. And this tree doesn't appear to have very many lemons. I'm looking, I see one off to the left here. Some of the lemon trees are really producing already. This one here, there's like one right there. I'm looking, oh, there's another one coming out there. But it's not really producing. This is, of course, the second harvest, the less aggressive harvest. Coming into our watermelon though, this is our Blacktail Mountain watermelon, and this thing is taking off. Looky there. It is going. All male. See male flower, but looky what I just saw. Got a male flower there. See, it's just got a stem, but look over here. You see that one? That is a female flower. So this thing is starting, ooh, these are magnolia hulls. They look like a mouse. Anyway, this thing is starting to make some female flowers. There's another vine there and another vine going off that way in the path. Okay, I'm getting excited now. I'm gonna encourage this one to, I didn't realize watermelons were such climbers. They have all kinds of little tendrils on them. Never grown watermelon before. I'm gonna get this one out of the path. And ooh, it's growing up, grabbing on. Let's see if we can get it out of the path and more over that direction. This one, see, there's a male flower. There's another male flower, Oh, there it is. There's the female flower right there. Very exciting. That'll open up, get pollinated, and grow into a Blacktail Mountain watermelon. Very cool. So this lemon tree, look at the spikes on this lemon tree. Quite a dangerous tree. This one does need to be trimmed a bit. It's looking a little rough. Another failed garlic bed. So I'll tell you what, I really like Seed Saver Exchange. I ordered garlic from them, they sent it, and I bought it and everything. Before it even arrived, they let me know straight up they're having trouble with the germination. And sure enough, I went ahead and planted them just to see what would happen. Every single one of them has died. Just giving up the ghost. So this is a Dragon Cayenne pepper. Starting to come out with new peppers. And the potatoes are looking pretty rough. Getting rather insect eaten. The garlic has done its job protecting, but the garlic is not going to be too much longer till it's ready to harvest. In fact, you can kind of dig down to see how well it's bulbing out. Trying to feel it. It's starting to bulb out. It's not really good yet. So it'll be a little while before it's ready. There is a blade of grass in here. Can't have that. And another plant in there. Don't want those growing in there. Garlic doesn't like nature touching it. It likes clean pots. So we will give it what it wishes. Shake out those roots. And I just lay them on the wall till they dry out. And the wind blows them away. And they fertilize something. So this Lugustrum or Privet hedge, it is growing out strong. I think I've removed all of the air potato vines out of it. Right next to it is a pomegranate. And it seems to be going healthy. There's supposed to be some guinea Impatiens right in that corner right there. And I may need to get in there and weed that. There's a lot of weeding needs to get done. I haven't stayed up with it because I was on my trip. More potatoes here, really looking rough. We are going to be harvesting these really soon, and putting potatoes in storage. More garlic. This garlic has done its job too. So coming over here now, these watermelon don't look. Now I do want to look. Notice the bed. There's not nearly many weeds in here. This is after 2 weeks of not doing anything. It's got cardboard underneath, 6 inches of compost, and this never got mulched. Oh, well, I dropped the ball on that one. But I've been putting wood chips, but these are the other watermelon I'm growing. And again, I'm going to try to keep these going in opposite directions. Let's see if we can convince that fellow to go over that way and this one to go over there. If we can get them going in different directions, maybe we can get a bigger plant. But the drip lines are working good over here. You've noticed the drip lines. I did add those since the last video. These 2 mounds in this area are both, what are these? Watermelon Crimson Sweet. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those come along. Uh-oh. Getting a little tangled up in each other. Let's get them going different directions. Eventually, this may find its way over to the neighbor's house, because we're going to have more water. I think if these grow, we're going to have more watermelon than we can use. But this thing isn't producing flowers yet. It's just kind of struggling along. There's a few little weeds in here. Another lemon tree. Now this lemon tree is in a pot, but it's producing. Looky here. Got two little ones underneath here. It's got a bigger one right there. There's a few that look up here on this branch. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 more flowers coming out. There's a couple over there. 1, 2. There's a whole bunch on that branch. So yeah, this little lemon tree is going to do good, I think. I do need to repot it. It's going to get planted in the ground somewhere eventually. Another mint plant. I think this is one of the chocolate mint. It's not doing very well because it's kind of underneath this water oak that we're under. But it will, hopefully it might grow slower, but I'm hoping it will take off eventually. I want to eventually get rid of all this grass. I'd like to put some ground cover in there and some more permanent ground cover and wood chips back around this tree to control what grows there. This is that mixed plant. You can see the Rezha peppers are growing with the little lines on them. Those little lines are part of the look of the pepper. And then of course the Hungarian. All right, you know what? I'm not gonna eat a Hungarian. Okay. And then some bell peppers growing out down there. Oop, one fell on the ground, it looks like. Looks like nature can have that one. That one. This is the Thai hot peppers. I will not be eating one of these on camera again. If you want to see that, I may have to upload a video, but these are very, very, very hot peppers. Or they have been historically. This thing produced all winter long. Amazing. Just blew me away. These are more of the same of those last melons. And these are the ones I planted from seed. And these have just taken off. Something else. I can't get over how good they look. Still no flower. Oh, I do see a flower coming. There is a flower coming right there. Looks like a male flower, but it is starting to produce a flower. This one here. Yeah, no other, I don't see, that's the only flower I see. I do have some bee balm down here that's kind of getting overrun by the dollar weed, which is one of our scourges. I don't know if dollar weed is a native or not, but this bee balm is supposed to be attractive to bees. When it starts growing up, I'll have to do some weeding around that. I'm actually just comfortable showing my yard and my garden a little bit rough right now. I did just travel, been gone for a while, 10-12 days, and things are a little bit tall, weeds and grass and so forth. Now this orange tree, Satsuma orange tree, it's actually getting some oranges, not very many, but it is growing some oranges. Very pleased with how those are coming along. I do see a bunch of oranges though. Look at this one right here. This one's getting pretty big. This Satsuma orange is supposed to be the one with the zipper skin. Real easy to peel and very tasty. So we'll have to see what, okay, see now this is what happened. This little one here, whoop, did you see it fall? During what was supposed to be the peak season, here's another one. They would grow to about the size of a ping pong ball, and then they would shrivel and die. This one here is shriveled and died. It's hard as a stone, can't squish it. We'll have to see what happens here. My neighbor says that these Satsumas, they'll have a good year, and then they'll have a bad year, and then they'll have a good year. But there's a lot of them on here, lots of them. Mostly the size of large marbles. Now this is not something y'all have seen before. This is totally new. These are Egyptian walking onions. I'm gonna have to pull the wagon out here. Now these this is not the final destination for these, but we're gonna live with it here for now. And a lot of these were laying down, but they have perked up and they are looking strong. A friend of mine gave all of these, in fact, let me step back. All of these were one big bunch. And I broke them up into a bunch of smaller bunches. And what happens is they're Egyptian walking onions. This little head right here will develop into multiple cloves of onion. And it'll grow out and get bigger and bigger, and when it's big enough, it will get heavy and then seed itself into the ground and grow another cluster of these onions. So I've never tried these before, so this is brand new to me, but they have really picked up everything. I see one back there that's kind of laying down still, but part of that cluster is perked up. This really looked miserable when I first planted it the day before I left, but you can actually see here the head here is starting to come out of its paper, so we'll have to see. And you can see several little tendrils coming out of that. That's going to be several onions in there, and that stem will get heavy and then fall over and plant itself in the ground when it gets heavy. So these are the Egyptian walking onions. Told several people about it, and I know it sounds confusing. So we got a lemon tree in a big huge pot here. It looks like a 50 or 100 gallon pot down here. Another pomegranate sitting above that. We did do some exploring back here in this corner. Let's see if I can squeeze into this corner. There's another pot down here. Ow, ow, doggone it. This lemon thorns. See, there's a pot right there. That's got a pretty mature lemon tree that looks to have, I don't know, a couple dozen lemons on it. But if you look under here, there's another pot that's kind of squeezed between that pot and this pomegranate. I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut this out of here, because this is just not healthy, obvious. Oh, good grief, and there's another lemon tree growing out right there. That's another lemon tree. I just discovered that. So, there you go. Try not to fall on my Egyptian walking onions. There we go. All the aloe. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all the aloe. This is my collection of grasses over here. Something big. Oh, is that? No, I think that's pomegranate flowers. But this is the rosemary bush. Look, it goes from there over to here. This thing is huge. And I'm gonna cut a bunch off this and see if I can propagate out some more rosemary from this thing. I've got several people making requests. There's another bag of mint just kind of hidden in here. The mint, again, keeps the rodents and squirrels at bay. Dollarweed all mixed into this aloe here. I will never be able to defeat the dollarweed, obviously. I could have run the mower between here. I've got to rearrange some of these pots so I can get in here better with the mower. But eventually I'd love to get rid of all this grass with ground cover. Check out these lemons though. Oh my goodness. Look at those. They're getting big. Bunch of them. Now this lemon tree was the biggest producer this past when we moved in. And I'm just looking, I see at least 2 or 3 dozen lemons just from this side. So there's a lot of lemons here. In fact, looky here, there's one freshly right there. That little green thing right there is a lemon. And that's the coolest thing. Coming right out of that flower. Not sure what all is growing under here. I do see more aloe under there mixed in. Oh, in fact, I see this lemon tree that I just showed you is coming out of that pot. And there's another lemon tree coming out of the ground right here. Huh. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to get in here and organize all this. Oh, looky there. I got a bleeding pinky from a lemon spike. Aloe, aloe, and more mint. I'm not sure which mint this is. I think this may be a spearmint. This is the one that came with the property. This is the aloe that bloomed red. Kind of an interesting stalk that's left. Look at all the lemons coming out of the one that's planted. That's just amazing. More aloe. This is a different kind of aloe. I'm gonna have to do some study on aloe, figure out what these are. And there's some more chocolate mint in that bag there. Now these little pots right here are supposed to be loquats. And we'll have more about that later. But loquats is one of my next acquisitions. If these do not germinate, I will be going and getting some loquat. Oh, look at the little lizard right there. Getting some loquat. Boy, he is just as bold as anything, isn't he? I tell you what, these lizards let me get so close to them. It's amazing. They'll look at me. I've been within inches of, just, 2 inches of them. They'll just sit there and watch me. I don't bother them. They know. But yeah, these little seedling pots here, I've got 7 loquat seeds planted. See if we can grow some loquats. Yummy. 2 more pomegranates back there. One there, one there. Part of our massive collection of pomegranates. The compost is looking fantastic. This thing here, this is my compost. So I just flipped it just before I left. It is some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Heating up beautifully, 120 degrees and so. But it was all filled in this one, and I flipped it. Oh, I went and got some seaweed from the beach. Filled this thing with seaweed, and as I flipped it, I put in some seaweed. Put in several scoops of the compost, and then I put in the seaweed, several scoops of compost, and then I also added a little bit of the horse compost, which is what's down inside this bin. So that's about 3/4 full with the horse bedding compost. Then over here, of course, we have I didn't show this. This is our other magnolia tree. This is another beautiful tree. It is leaning toward the shed, but it is a strong tree. We may lose both of these one day. It'll be a shame because they're beautiful, but the flowering is pretty much done. And then there's a palm tree back there. And this thing, I don't know, fan palm, I'm not sure what kind, but it's gonna have to come out. I'm not crazy about it back there. I'm not sure if this one is a scourge or not, but I don't know. I'm still having to decide on this one. So anyway, that's the back garden, the outer garden. I really didn't show you any of the beds yet. That's going to be part 3. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it if you know somebody that might enjoy seeing it. I just really have made a place that I enjoy out here, and I think that people should just take the time and make a place, whether it's a garden or a room or a shed or something that you're going to just enjoy. It's really given me a lot of peace being out here and watching things grow. Be sure to come with the next video. There should be a link coming up here in the bottom corner that that will take you to the last and the third and final part, and I'll show you the beds. There's a lot growing in the beds. I tell you what, we've been eating a lot out of the beds already, and a lot more is coming. Eventually we're going to be having too much food, but it's kind of exciting. We'll start off in the bed number 1 over here with the lettuce and ginger. So ginger's growing. Join us for the next video. Appreciate y'all.